Hello ladies and welcome back to Chengi's World. I am Chengi and you, my precious angels, are my world. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I am so excited. Forgive my voice a bit hoarse. I'm hoping to be clear. My sister was like, you don't sound good. So I'm hoping to be clear. I've had this persistent cough that is going, but it's leaving a bit of residue with a husky voice. I don't quite mind it, you know what I mean? Anywho, I hope I'll be clear and you guys will totally hear what I'm saying. So how have you been, ladies? I hope you have been well, and I'm really excited at the comments that you're leaving. I am really glad to be back, and I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon. So if you're new to this channel, welcome to Chengi's World, and make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're going to catch one or two of these cool girly videos. What can I say? What I'm saying, okay. Right, so moving on. This video today is about the 5 different ways, the 5 different P's that you know that a man is into you. Okay, so this was suggested by my New York angel, who said, Chengi, you do great videos about practical stuff to look out for, stuff to be to be aware of, and I really enjoy them, but I would really love it if you would do a video that is more about the positive side, and I'm all about that. Yes, I am very much a lover of love. But I'm also very cautious to make sure that we're very aware of how to behave in order to get that love and the people we don't need to entertain. But it never hurts to be clear about when love is working. Yes. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that absolutely are telltale signs that this guy is feeling you all over the show, like he is into you, like this is the one. We're gonna have baby, we're gonna get married, we're gonna have babies, we're gonna have whatever your future is. I mean, you can go off on one if these 5 are there. Okay, so let's have fun doing that. So watch the very end. Join me on Instagram and Facebook, my lovelies, where we will have this conversation more so in person, where we can get to know one another a bit more and where you can get some inspiration as we go along. So what is the first P? All right, so I've got 5 P's for you. That'll be easy enough to remember, hopefully. Okay, and I'll be looking down to look at my notes just to make sure that I don't forget the P's. Okay, now these are in no particular order, but I think they sort of are, so work with me here because I'm Chengi, okay? What can I say? So number 1 is pursue. Pursue. When you see him, the one way that you know that a guy is into you, that's one of the first signs, I believe, is if he pursues you. Now, some men, the number 1 sign that a man is into you is if he pursues you. I'm just going to have some water as we go along so my throat doesn't get dry. All right, so he pursues you. That's really key. It's very important. It's number 1. A man that wants you, a man that's into you, a man that wants a future with you will pursue you. Honey, do not have a doubt. This guy will text you every waking moment. He will call you whenever he has a minute, and he will ask you out on dates. Your job will be like, oh my goodness, he wants to see me pretty much every day. Like, he will be on it. He will be on it like white on rice. He will pursue you. He will come after you. He will text you. He will ask you out for dates. He will set up a date while you're still on one date. So one of the things, ladies, and this needs to be so clear, if you find yourself in a situation where you're pursuing the guy, having to see if he wants to see you again, trying to make sure he sees you again, okay, so the one thing that you want to do is to be able to lean back. So if he pursues you, you will feel yourself leaning back into the relationship and being receptive, letting him give to you. Because when a man really wants you, he will pursue you. He will pursue you. There is no other sign. He's not too shy. He's not too busy. He's not too this. I am telling you, when a man wants you, he will put stuff aside. He will reschedule his schedule. He will get some courage. He will do whatever it takes, and he will pursue you. That is number 1. I'm going to do a video about how to help him pursue you. You know what I'm saying? Some guys need a little bit of help. So we're going to talk about that in another video. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do, and make sure you hit the notification bell. Otherwise, you'll never know when the video comes out. Okay, simple. So first and foremost, he will pursue you. Number 2, he will progress. He will progress the relationship. You know that a guy's into you if he's being progressive, if he is saying things like, you're on one date and it's like, so when can I see you again? Can we make plans? When are you available? He will progress things forward. He will want to take you to different places. He will literally be taking things forward to the next stage. You will feel a sense of progression. So, oh, we've done this now. We should really do that now. When can we do this? And he himself will begin to progress things so that you kind of feel emotionally that he's taking care of business emotionally, that he wants you to know that we're going somewhere, girl. You know, I got a plan for you. But the second thing you will see is progression. He wants to see you more, do more, introduce you to his friends, introduce you to his family, introduce you to his network. He starts to want to progress the relationship and bring you further into his life. So, you know, some guys move very fast, some a bit slower, but definitely you will see progress. You will start to meet his friends, you'll start to meet his family, he will start to want to spend more time with you, start planning things way ahead of time. You know, what in the summer, why don't we go off to this town or go on to that country? He starts to make plans. You see, progression and plans. But plans is not part of them, but it just came up now. Okay, so the third one is he will profess. I said on my Instagram that a guy who wants you, a guy who's into you, a guy who is for you will leave you in no doubt, because he will literally profess. He will open his mouth and he will say what is on his heart. He will say, look, I really am not comfortable with you seeing other guys. Are you seeing other guys? Because I would really like us to be exclusive. You know, I would like you to remove your profile of Tinder. I would like you to remove your whatever. He will start to verbalize and he will begin to profess. Some guys go as far as, you know, asking you, will you be my girlfriend? I would like for us to be exclusive. And when you are out and about with friends and family, he will introduce you as his girlfriend or his chengi, or he will make it very clear verbally to everyone in his world, everyone around him, and to you, how he feels. And he will tell you, I care about you deeply. I love you. He will profess. You don't need to ask a guy, how do you love me? How do you feel about me? You can do, but usually if you have to ask, right? Because men who are falling in love, men who are into the woman they're dealing with, want her to be 100% clear, okay? And not just her. They're not just for her to be clear, but they want their world to be clear. They want their friends and family to be clear. Okay, so the fourth one is provide. Now, what this means is different in marriage, in courtship, in dating, but still the P works. Providing is not so much that he wants to pay your bills and you know, and make sure your mortgage is paid and buy you a car. Some guys can afford it, some guys do it, but by this I mean that he is so willing to get into his wallet and pay for stuff. He's not comfortable with you reaching into your bag unless you sort of insist. He buys you gifts. He buys you. He starts to spend some money on you, and he likes to do it. You can tell that he's happy to do it. He likes to spend money on you, and even when you go grocery shopping for your own house, he will sort of pull out his wallet and pay for it, even though it's grocery shopping for your house. You know, if you know, you go and put fuel in the car and he happens to be in your car, he will get out of the car and go and pay for you'll just put fuel in and he will just go in and pay. You know, he starts to just look after you. He starts to look after you and buy you stuff and give you stuff. Now, some guys don't necessarily give gifts, but, you know, I remember dating a guy or two who he would pick me up to go wherever. It would be like an afternoon on a Saturday. He would pick me up and we would go off, and he would just randomly drive to some really beautiful ladies boutique, and he would be like, come on in, and we would go in, and he'd say, is there anything that you like? Why don't you have a look around and see if there's anything that you like, and I would be like, oh my gosh, really? Because men know that I'm not the type to be like, can I have some money? I'm just sorry, I just can't. No. But anyway, so he would take me, and he would sort of see what I'm looking at, and just because he'd made the effort and it was sweet, I would sort of try on a few clothes, and it would eventually leave with one beautiful dress that cost a lot of money. He would, that's, do the pretty woman thing, and come out of, what do you think? Do all of that for him because they love it. And, he would buy me that, buy me a pair of shoes, just, I think you need a pair of shoes to go with that. And it wouldn't be something I asked for. It's just his way of wanting to do something to spoil me. And that sort of happened with a few guys that I dated. So some don't go to those extremes. Or I remember one guy, he sort of saw me sort of looking at some clothes. He didn't take me shopping. We were just walking up and down, and I happened to walk into a shop. I thought I just want to have a look in there, and I had a look, and I was looking at some underwear because I have a thing about underwear. So I was looking at some underwear, and I thought it was really quite nice, and then I sort of turned around and I left. And he saw the one that I was lingering on for a while. He didn't say anything. We just left. And the next day he showed up at my house, and he had the very thing in a bag. He had a gift for me. So, and he always wanted to marry me. Like he told the whole world, I'm going to marry this woman. Like, so you can tell very much that they start to want to provide by you stuff. Not always initially, not always when they first meet you, but as their feelings deepen, that's definitely a thing. And, I remember, also being in a bit of a financial situation, and I was sort of sharing, not in a major kind of way, but he noticed that the situation and said, look, I can pay for that if you like. And it was quite a lot of money, but I was not comfortable with that, because I think if you're going to take a certain amount of money from a guy, you have to really know how you feel about him, and I wasn't 100. But the principle there is that he was prepared to provide, step in when there's a problem. The next one is he is prepared to protect you. He wants to protect you. This is the guy who, if you're stranded anywhere in the world at any time, and you pick up your phone at any time and you say, hi, I'm stranded, I'm in the middle of somewhere, and I just need your help. He's the guy that will get into his car in his pajamas and come and rescue you. He will care about how you get home. One of the things that he will start saying, call me when you get home, let me know when you get home, did you get home safely? He cares about your safety, he cares about your protection, so he starts to protect you and be protective. He wants to make sure you get home safely, or he will pay for a cab and make sure that you get home safely. Like, he will make sure that you get home safely. He will make sure that you are always safe. He will hold your hand sometimes even before you cross a road. It's not because he thinks you're a child. It's just that protective instinct kicks in because he doesn't want to lose something precious to him. And it's, that's definitely, I would say the 5 P's is that you will get that pursuit, that progression, that profession, that provision, and that protection. Hey, girl, I did it all. I said it. Hey. So yes, these are for me the 5 things that I look for when I want to see, and usually they do occur. If this man is for real, this man is looking for a future with you, has decent plans for you, this man is falling in love with you, he will 100% guaranteed, no questions asked, tick all 5 of those boxes. Sometimes men can pursue you to get laid. Some men can pursue with vigor and passion to get laid, and then when they get laid, they keep on moving. But even a guy that will pursue you for that, he will not stay long enough to progress the relationship. He's not going to want to introduce you to his family and friends, so everything will always be kept aside. So can't really fool you in that regard, because if you are looking out for the progress and the profession before you sleep with a guy, if you're looking out for these 5 P's before you sleep with him, then he won't usually reach a point where he will have to say any of these things. And if he knows, eventually that this girl is not going to give it up unless she gets something real, usually that's when they disappear, ghost you, or whatever. But having standards is not up for compromise, know what I'm saying? Yes. So thank you so much for watching, ladies, and I hope this was really helpful for you. Make sure you join me on Instagram and Facebook. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. Put the little notification bell and more videos coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. Love you.